Super Bowl 60 is today. I'm thoroughly excited. And I'm excited for multiple reasons because I remember for Super Bowl 49, originally when the Patriots and the Seahawks played each other for the first time, I was instantly inspired by the game to the point that I wrote one of my most celebrated records off my sophomore album, Forgato season. I wrote this song called Lost. And the cover art was this exact photo. Um, in the green screen of Malcolm Butler intercepting Russell Wilson on the goal line and having the game ending interception that won the Patriots the Super Bowl. It was a classic moment, historical moment, and that moment solidified so much with storytelling because Malcolm Butler was a no name. Both he and I attended the same college, not at the same time, but I went to Hinds and Raymond. He went to Hinds and Raymond, and his journey to the NFL was a hard journey. I believe he was undrafted, and I even watched his interview on the Pivot. Shout out to the Pivot with Ryan Clark, Shannon Crowder, and them, Fred Taylor. He spoke about last year in that interview that he was working at Popeyes and people were like coming through the drive-through that knew of him and would say things like, "Man, I thought you was gonna make it, bro. I thought you was gonna be somebody." Ironically, I worked at Popeyes at one point. I didn't even know Malcolm Butler had worked at Popeyes while grinding, trying to get to the NFL. And both he and I shared that same, correlation of attending Hinds and Raymond, and also we worked at Popeyes. And it was just fascinating to see how an underdog, someone that was counted out, made the biggest play in history, arguably in the Super Bowl, and literally overnight, his whole life changed. I know Tom Brady gave him the truck that the MVP of the Super Bowl gets. And I think he even said Malcolm should have won MVP. Malcolm was making countless plays prior to the interception, but the interception was the icing on the cake. So that's the amazing part about sports is storytelling. And that whole game just inspired me because the reason why I wrote the song Losses was, loss to me represents you could be so close yet so far away, and not going with not always moving with what got you there, and sometimes trying to, be outside the box or creative can cost you because Marshawn Lynch was the bread and butter of the Seattle Seahawks offense, and they should have just kept running the ball and went out on their shield. If he fumbles, if he go 4 and out, meaning he don't get in on 4 attempts, you can live with that because it's Marshawn Lynch, it's beast mode. But yeah, for whatever reason they threw the ball. I constantly was thinking, like, while watching that game, I'm like, man, this game changed the trajectory of so many people's lives. If the Seahawks had won that Super Bowl, we're looking at the birth of a new dynasty. Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, like the whole LOB, like it's no telling. Like they were basically like the bad boy Pistons of the NFL. And we're looking to, run things for a minute. And then if the Patriots had lost, that would have been like their 3rd Super Bowl loss in a row, if I ain't mistaken, because I think they had lost to the Giants previously twice. So who knows? Maybe that's the end of Tom Brady in New England. Maybe he leaves New England or something like that. You never know. So that game changed a lot, man. And even fast forward a decade and some change later, nobody predicts that Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft aren't first ballot Hall of Famers. So the rematch of this game, man, it's going to be so much at stake for legacy again and just storylines. I think this game impacts the soon-to-be documentary of the New England Patriots and their dynasty run. I think their documentary is going to be bigger than Michael Jordan's The Last Dance or whatever it was called, that did crazy numbers. But when I wrote that song, man, I was very inspired by this game, man. Like the game was the Super Bowl 49. Everything about that game just creatively gave me a spark. And it's one of my most like celebrated lyrics, man. I even had a line where I talked about it. I was like, I be feeling like Russell Wilson on the goal line, about to throw my life away with everything on the line. And it's like that line resonates because um I be feeling like I'm so close to a breakthrough, but at the same time, distractions and overthinking things, I'd be about to throw my life away, and I essentially like Russell Wilson threw his life away. He was never the same really after that. He's became a journeyman. And shout out to Russell Wilson. I'm not dissing him or nothing. Like I like Russell Wilson a lot as a football player. He even played for my Steelers, and I was hoping he could like have a resurgence there, but it just didn't work out. But it was just lines like that. Even at the end of the song, I played the clip from the game where Malcolm Butler intercepts the ball, and I just play that out to ride out at the end of the song, just to signify like the symbolism of the loss, because in the song, man, I was confessing a lot of things about just the war of spirituality and me, showing ascension in my life, but losing friends because I'm not smoking weed anymore. And I mean, I literally said I stopped smoking weed and I lost friends. I had lines just referencing how they rather smoke the dope, but you the lighter. Like just saying like I'm the person that's enlightened, but they want me to be like on some like recreational drugs. And it's like because of that, it was a separation that needed to happen. So yeah, man. If you want to check the record out, man, it's called Lost by James Forgato, Virgodo. It's available on my SoundCloud at James Forgato, all streaming platforms, YouTube. Just type in James Forgato Lost. Type in James Forgato Lost on Apple Music and Spotify to check the song out. Man, but I look forward to giving a recap of the Super Bowl later on, man. It's going to be an exciting day, man. Y'all tap in, man. Drop a comment, man, of your predictions of who you got winning this game, man. I am James Forgato, man. And as always, be God level. The genius is in you. Make sure you subscribe to the God Level Genius YouTube channel and follow me on all platforms, Rumble, Twitch, TikTok at God Level Genius.